Okay, do another 955. Let's see, this one is for Kevin S. in Portland, Oregon. Kevin, finally get to your radio. That ground hole is always the hardest one to get. Add some more solder to that. One of my problems is I don't want to wait for it to penetrate to heat all the way through the eyelet sometimes.
Guard helicopter 686 with permission to Mr. Hayes, looking for 2 landings on your path.
And because it's connected to the ground plane, it takes it longer to heat up.
Guard helicopter 686 cleared to land. Thank you.
That's all I needed to do, just hold on there a little bit longer.
We're in control. Homeowner
Okay.
thinks they may have accidentally activated the medical alarm. Engine 3 suspended. Hey.
Still gotta have my coffee. All right. Here's the new NDK filter, 1.7 IO filter. Yeah, I gotta cut a couple of standoffs for these capacitors. Get them above the surface mount components.
board. Number 20 on the fuel. RS 1. Louis is 7.
Okay.
That is a very good copy, sir. From the RTD with 3 on board at 1849.
Now, I use a little bit of hot glue to hold them in place. I'm going to place them on the board. If I don't, every time I go to install them, they slide down the leads. Because that's not any fun. Yeah. There goes that one.
Hang out from 14 is a lift. Says 14 is available.
Never see it again. I know about where it went, but I'll look at it when I get through with the radio. Look for it when I get through with the radio. Now both of these are 3300 microfarad gold caps that I'm putting in there. But one set of these has smaller leads than the other one, and that's the one that goes in place of the 470 microfarad. It's back in the back corner. Because the lead holes for it are tiny. Now, try not to throw this one. Not necessary, but I always like to turn the ID label, the stamp, towards the visible side of the slot for the crystal, so that a part number can be pulled off of it if somebody ever needs to. Now we'll solder the center lead first, and then reach around and press down on the filter. Make sure it's all the way down on the board. If you don't get it all the way down on the board, it can vibrate, and that's a bad thing, because if it moves around, there's a good chance it'll break the leads, or break the PC runs, or just do all kind of bad things. Like that one was not completely seated. I'm still not happy with that. Let's do this again. There we go. Now, Haven't been much skipping there today. I'm up on the international call channel right now. Heard a few on there. That's 27,555, in case you're wondering. Upper sideband. I'll tell you what, Jacksonville, Duval County, and St. John's Rescue and Fire Department get hundreds of calls every day. They dispatch all day long and part of the night. Okay. Now, which one is which? Okay, that's the thin one. This one will go back here in the corner. He's the one that's got the longest leads on him to get above that diode and also get above that mounting fixture. Okay. Insulator fell off my soldering iron. I need to glue that back on. It's supposed to be just like a firm fit so that it won't slide off, you know, a tight fit. But this thing is so old. It's cracked throughout the years. Let's see, I put this thing in service the 15th of August, 2009 for that one. The one I had before it, which was the same brand, and that is a OK Industries model SAG50. Those are damn good soldering stations. I'm not even sure that OK Industries is still in business. Seems like Weller bought them out or something. You guys can correct me on that if you know. I've certainly got my money's worth out of them. Okay, now this one needs the standoffs to get above the leads on that audio chip, and also to clear the little components around the footprint of the capacitor, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, my hand and arm still shakes, but They tell me the more I use it, the better it'll get, so I try to use it all the time. Anyway, all right. Time for me to do my thing. I also need to install the CTCSS module. A lot of you have asked, I don't know why, but you want to see what I look like. So here I am. So enough of that nonsense. Time to get back to work. I don't know why y'all care what I look like. Kind of funny. Nobody asked me that until I mentioned that I'd had a stroke, and then I started getting requests to show my ugly mug. You guys are glutton for punishment. Did 22 years in the Navy. Retired, went to work for the telecom industry. And I did 20 years with Verizon Wireless. And when I had the stroke, Verizon Wireless, the first day I got back to work after I recovered from the stroke, went through rehab, and I worked really hard to get back. You know, I pushed myself because I wanted to go back to work. I enjoyed what I did. I mean, I was still getting paid. If I'd have known what I know now, I wouldn't have been in such a hurry to go back to work, because the first day I got back to work, they told me they no longer needed me and cut me loose. Imagine my disappointment. But anyway, that's the way the mop flops, as we used to say in the Navy. There is no loyalty between companies and employees anymore. Verizon Wireless used to be a really good place to work, till they got bought out, but everything went to shit. Yeah, you're just a number. Anyway, before that happened, I really enjoyed working there. Well, I still enjoyed working there even after that happened. Probably going to have to edit all that out, but I don't know, I might leave it in there. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed when they told me they no longer needed me after I worked so hard to get back to work. They did offer me a package when they let me go. And now get this, this is how much I loved what I did. I had 320 hours of vacation built up. So I got paid for that. And I mean, the people I worked with were super great. You couldn't work with a better bunch of people. A lot of them are, well, they should be worried about their jobs too. That's all I'm going to say. But Biden economics, Jesus, it's a wonder anybody still has a job. And he's bringing all those foreigners in here to take the jobs that people are trying to find. Anyway, I'm not a political person, but he is the absolute worst president we have had since I've been alive. and I'm 70 years old. So I've seen quite a few presidents. Never seen one as bad as this one. I don't understand how in the world people could have elected him as president. He's not really the president. Somebody else is running the country. He's just a figurehead, stumbling old fool. Anyway, okay. CTCSS module. Let me grab one real quick. Well, sir, I'm down to the last module that's not pre-sold. Actually, that one was pre-sold for this radio. I have to order some more. Alright, for those of you who have never installed one of these, it's pretty easy. This is what it looks like. Okay. It has a cable soldered to it. And all you do is plug that cable into this spot right here, into this plug, which is J6, looks like. Okay, once you do that, then figure out where you want to mount this, either here or here. I usually mount them up here, just to kind of stretch the cable out, get it out of the way. I usually mount it before I run the cable, but I didn't do that today. I'll mount him right there using one screw. And when you buy these from me, I provide a couple of screws. I'm gonna have to order some more. I've been told that the latest version of the 955 is coming with these pre-installed. And of course, this is the version that I prefer. You actually get some radio with it instead of an empty shell. And I've still got a few of these left. Okay. Just a little dab. Loctite on that guy. Just a dab. Just to make sure it doesn't loosen up. Well, I call it Loctite. This is actually Permatex thread locker, blue thread locker. I use it a lot. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the video and go through and start tuning this guy up. got to do the software stuff and all that crap. I know you guys don't want to hear the tones when I do the receiver and all that stuff. You've told me enough how annoying it is to listen to the tones. So I'll make sure you don't have to listen to those. Now, when you get one of these radios, the stock cable that comes with it is a good cable. Power cable I'm talking about. But if you ever have to replace it, make sure you get a heavy duty power cable, because this thing has got 4 final MOSFETs in it. So when you're really chooching on it, it draws a lot of current. And the more current you can feed it, the better it works. Don't overdo it, of course. Like, I don't recommend running it over 15 volts. In fact, I have my power supply set up at 14.8, 14.7, right around there. And that's where I run all of my equipment. Trust me, it'll have enough power. Okay? All right, I'll be back in a little bit. We'll do some power checks. More to come. Okay. I've got a 100 watt slug in both RMS and PEP. RMS meters on the left, PEP meters on the right. Okay. So I'm in AM, RF power's all the way up, mic gain's all the way up, multiplier for PEP is in ×2. Okay, so I'm reading about 19 watts for AM on RMS, and let's see, sometimes 2, so that's about yeah, that's 140 watts. Okay, now I'm going to switch to sideband. Don't worry, I'm going to cut that tone off just as soon as I show you what it's doing on sideband. Okay, we're doing 60 watts RMS and a little over 120 PEP. Okay, look, tone's off. Alright, now I've got to switch cables. And I'll show you all the receive. And this thing is dead on frequency. These are damn good radios. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody told me it was all Chinese junk. Well, all of them's Chinese junk nowadays. We are very, very damn dependent on China. Makes me sick. They've basically put Semiconductor Valley out of business. And you know what I think about our current administration. Okay. Let's get this going. I'm on channel 20. Yep, I don't have a speaker hooked up. Hang on a second. Plug up an external speaker. I had it hooked up and then I disconnected it. But what I do is I normally do the receive tune up first, Then I come back and do the transmit tune-up. The cable gets in the way sometimes when I'm doing that, so. That's lower sideband. Here. Let me pause this so I. Okay. There's the. Alrighty. S9. Let's see. We might want to see FM. Reach over here and switch it. Get up so I can reach it. There's FM. And now the radio's on FM. Okay? Alrighty. Only thing I got left to do now is set up the CTCSS module. Let me get that done, and more to come. Okay, Kevin, there it is, buddy. All finished and buttoned up. Kevin, I sure hope you enjoy your new radio. Sorry it took so long, partner, but I appreciate you being patient with me. 7-3, everybody. Stay safe. Oh, and if you got vaccinated by that plague we had a few years ago, my advice to you is to have your blood checked for anomalies often. Okay? All right. Take care, everybody.